A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the National Public Speaking Competition 2019 Grand Finals. Today we are very happy to see so many of you here to witness the birth of our speech champions for the secondary category. My name is Imran and I'm very happy to be your MC for this afternoon. Today we are delighted to have with us the Head of Training and Vice Principal of the Public Speaking Academy, Mr. Zulhafni, to present the awards to the contestants later, as well as the media partners, distinguished panel of adjudicators, contestants of the NPSC 2019, and distinguished guests to join us today. Before we kickstart the prepared speech segment, may I invite the Head of Training and Vice Principal of the Public Speaking Academy, Mr. Zulhafni, on stage to share some insights with our contestants and distinguished guests.
Testing, test. And the winner of the speech contest is Gary Fu. I was your age, the contestant's age, when I first experienced the bitter taste of defeat. That soul-crushing, energy-sapping, confidence-shattering feeling when you know that it's just not your turn to win that year. Good afternoon, everyone, especially to the judges and all the wonderful, brave contestants that we have today. Now, I've seen some of your speeches in the qualifying rounds, and I already know that for today, it's going to be an exciting and electrifying set of speeches that we will get to enjoy for today. But before I go into the speeches, I thought that I'd start by sharing something a bit more unique and unexplored when someone joins a competition, and it's that bitter pill that you have to swallow sometimes. Now, I was your young age when I first joined a speech competition, and I thought that I was a shoo-in. I was a definite winner. From the first contest, I was going to be that legendary youngest winner of that contest ever. I studied the judging criteria from the start all the way to the end. I combed through all the details and I knew which boxes to tick so that the judges will pick me as the winner. A fantastic story to start the speech? Tick. A wonderful moral to end the speech? Also tick. Body language and vocal variety? Also tick. I thought that this will be my year, the year I defeat Gary Fu. Gary Fu, who is this Gary Fu? Gary Fu was the man who always won the contest every single year for the past few years. Gary Fu was that man I wanted to be, a winner and a champion. And Gary Fu was also that man who will taste defeat finally this year by none other than me, Zulhafni. So I was ready. I prepared my speech from scratch. I knew I had to win in this particular contest, or else the next contest will only come along more than a year later, and victory won't taste as sweet by that time. I prepared my speech from scratch. I watched hundreds of speech videos, online TED Talks, and powerful speakers to learn from them. I memorized my speech in its entirety. I remember the point right before the results were announced. I was seated in the same hall like this, right at the back, alone. I chose to be alone because I knew that I was going to take the wonderful Walk Hall of Fame down from the back all the way to the front to collect my gleaming trophy. I thought that this year will be mine. My hands were trembling, my feet were shaking, and my whole body was shivering. No, don't get me wrong, I was not nervous. The room was just too cold. But I thought, really, that's it. My victory will come. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the speech contest, Gary Fu. Gary Fu. Gary Fu is the same man who keeps winning every single year. Gary Fu, the man I was supposed to be that year, a winner and a champion. And Gary Fu, that man was supposed to be defeated by me today. When I heard the news, I was devastated. I sat at the back and I refused to talk to anyone. I thought that my speaking journey would end right there and then. The naysayers around me were telling me the same thing. Zul, what's the point of trying every single year? You prepare for one whole year, but you still get defeated by Gary Fu. My close friends, they were well-intentioned, mind you, but they also said the same thing. Zul, you keep trying every year. Gary Fu is going to win anyway. My best friend, my greatest enemy as well, my mind told me this. Perhaps you're just not good enough. I thought that that was the end of my speaking journey. Seated alone at the back, I was feeling a mix of rage and devastation. How could it be that I lost when I ticked all the judges' boxes and I delivered everything that I was supposed to deliver? I thought that the competition was rigged, and right there and then I swore this will be the first and the last time I will join a speech competition. So with an anger inside me, raging, burning inside me, I took all my stuff from the back of the hall and I quickly rushed out of the hall. And as luck would have it, guess who I met outside at the hall? Gary Fu, holding his shining trophy in front of me. Wanting to be the bigger man, I reached out to Gary Fu and I said, Gary, congratulations on your win. Gary had a big smile on his face, obviously with his gleaming trophy. He accepted my congratulations with a smile. And he said one thing that I remembered to this day. Zul, thank you for sharing your world with me today. What is wrong with this man? He just won a competition and now he's sharing philosophy with me. I was feeling a mix of strong emotions and I couldn't stop myself. And I asked him, Gary, what do you mean by that? Why do you keep winning every single year and still join? Gary looked at me, continued smiling, and he said, you know, before I won every single year, I lost every single year. The thing that drives me to continue participating in every single contest was one question and one question only. What part of my world will I share with the audience today? That was not enough for me. I thought this man still had some secret sauce, the KFC recipe for public speaking that he's just not willing to share with me. But he has a price. So I kept pushing. I said, Gary, I don't understand what you're talking about. Surely there is a way. When I prepared, looked through the judging criteria from the start all the way to the end. I watched all 100 TED Talks, and I read so many books on public speaking, I'm quite sure that I should be the one that win. What did I forget to do? And Gary explained to me very beautifully. Perhaps, Zul, you forgot to share your world on the stage with your audience. Sometimes when you are so fixated on winning, that world is so lonely and so small that you forget the purpose of you being here is to share a part of your world with your audience who's listening to you. And Gary just left. He left me standing in shock as he walked away like a shining knight with his glinting sword that is his trophy. Gary never joined a contest anymore after that. I never got a chance to defeat Gary, actually. But I wish I had a chance to thank Gary, because that day, I changed my mind and decided that, you know what? My speaking journey will not end there. Defeat or victory will not decide the end point of my speaking journey. You see, for all you young speakers right here, you all have a power, including all of you who went through the qualifying rounds, not just the finalists. And this power is the ability to come up here and present a part of your own world in your own words. Words are so powerful. Especially as speakers, you can come up here, you can motivate the crowd, you can move them to do something, you can electrify them into action, you can even touch their hearts with just your words. Muhammad Khatani, one of the world champion public speaking, one of my favorite as well, quotes as well, he said it very nicely when he said that words, when articulated and said very clearly or very well, can change someone's opinions. It can even alter someone's belief. Not just your thought processes, but belief, something you hold strongly to as well. When you present here later on in your contest, you may not be presenting to the world, but remember that your words may mean the world to someone in the audience right now. So with that, it leaves me to just say that I'm very excited to hear all of your speeches today. I know that you'll be able to deliver a part of your world and excite the entire group of audience that you have today. But remember that every time you come up here for your speaking journey, there will be winning moments and there will be defeats. But as long as you remember that I want to keep sharing my own world, a part of my world, you will continue to speak and exercise this power. And for the rest of you who are here to support the team, the 20 contestants as well, I thank all of you for joining us for here today. I know, having seen some of them as well, I know that today you're going to have a valuable and an electrifying and as well as an engaging afternoon ahead as well. So with that, all the best to all the contestants. Thank you and have a wonderful noon ahead. Thank you.